As much a temple as a military installation, the Gaalsien base was filled with bizarre religious imagery and ancient inscriptions. We also found this recording.
Noble and kind people of the desert, the North is suffering. Even now, as their cities thirst for water, and their citizens choke on the encroaching desert sands, we seek only peace. Their ascent into space was a violation of the will of Sajok. Unchecked, they will bring his wrath down upon us all. War has been forced upon us. The North will know us now, no longer as brothers, but by counting the number of their dead. May there be peace on Kharak once again.
We can expect fiercer resistance ahead. Regardless, we keep moving forward, cutting through the Garaki highlands here. It's rough terrain. The dangers are many. On the other side lies a heat-ravaged wasteland the Gaalsien call Daigran, or the Dreamlands. Just beyond lies our ultimate goal.
Hey, Rachel. If we find what everyone is hoping we will, the water riots, the food rationing, it could all become a distant memory. Our salvation lies in the desert, sis. I know it.
Rachel. Rachel.
Yes, I read you.
Short-range sensors are picking up scattered wreckage in the valley ahead. That's strange. Our satellite data shows nothing here.
Intel. I'm going to scout ahead and take a look.
Gaalsien are evacuating this site. Wrecks have been identified at these locations. All shipbreaking teams, stand by.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Deserts of Kharak.
Weapon range systems currently active.
So in a bit of a change of pace, we're actually operating at night again.
Armor, go ahead. Move order confirmed.
And we need to move up here and have Rachel scout ahead technically. I mean, she doesn't have to herself. You can technically use any unit to scout ahead, but Rachel is trained as a scout, so she might as well use her scouting abilities. As you can see, there is something very big ahead of us and to the right.
Reporting.
Rachel, my darling,
Move out and be ready.
go scout something. And you salvagers, go salvage something.
Advance to mark CUs.
That's what we pay you for. We didn't bring you all the way out here into the desert to do nothing.
Runner.
Yeah, looks like our fleet is a little discombobulated there. Yeah, see, the carrier would be grounding itself right there. On that dune that it just passed right over. Whatever.
Hostile designated. Mark Baron.
You're gonna want to see this. Incredible. The ship, it appears to be fully intact. My God. How is this possible? The cavity surrounding the ship is perfectly smooth. No evidence of digging or... We need to start artifact retrieval operations immediately.
Roger that. Salvage crews standing by.
I'm picking up significantly elevated power signatures somewhere in the area. Runner copies. If we can find that power source and integrate it into the Kapisi, it will significantly increase our energy levels in all systems. The walls of the canyon are distorting my scans. We need to send out salvage teams to find that power source.
Agreed. This could be the most powerful artifact we've discovered so far. Salvage teams form up.
Attention.
Maximum fleet capacity reached. I wish we had more time to investigate this location. The archaeological data alone would keep our scientists busy for years.
Kapisi copy. Coordinates...
I would give anything to meet the people who engineered this technology.
I'm not so sure you'd really want to meet them, Rachel. I mean,
Artifact found.
they are kind of
Excellent
oppressive.
work. Send reinforcements to escort the salvage team.
Alright, so we have literally found a series of entire ships in the rock.
Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed. CU deposit depleted.
So we need to go around here. It's actually like a series of plateaus or whatever. It's like a large ridge line, and we need to work our way up it and salvage all of the materials and the wrecks and the artifacts and stuff, as you can see here. So we need to make our way up this mountain, up this ridge line. And there's tons and tons of Gaalsien, and they all have the high ground. So, yeah. I guess one thing about this mission is the sky is fairly clear, and although I don't really do it, if you look up into the night sky, you can see the galactic rim, you know, the dust bank that forms the galaxy. And it's pretty similar to a certain other game that might come later in the series. Yeah. But anyway, it is there.
Green line confirmed. Engines on. Hostile armor incoming. We got something on the horizon. Waiting for eyes on to authenticate. Make ready.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Attack vector dialed in. We're in the fight. Alert. Hostile siege cruiser sighted.
And of course they don't target the anti-air battery.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Anyway, so based on the last mission, the end briefing, right, it said that the Gaalsien believe that the Kartoba, or first city, is like a temple, and whoever enters it becomes the Kahad Sajuk or whatever, is able to enforce the will of Sajuk, right? Remember that Sajuk, of course, is their god, essentially, or one of their gods. He whose hand shapes what is. So, just understand, that the Gaalsien have interpreted their history and effectively their destiny, if you will, in a very fanatically religious manner. So, because they are religious zealots, after all. Now, of course, with the benefit of having played the other Homeworld games, we know that the Gaalsien, and we'll find out, that the Gaalsien are not entirely wrong in their predictions. So eventually we will bring down the wrath of Sajuk upon Kharak, but maybe not quite in the way they envisioned. But then again, people who are that fanatical can pretty much twist anything to spin it and interpret, to their own interpretation. So, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised, if when the wrath of Sajuk does come down, the Gaalsien are like, yep, see, we told you it would happen like that. It's like, no, you didn't. Oh yeah, well, you see, it happened just like that, So. Crazy people can interpret things in crazy ways, and yeah, to the point where it just becomes, endless confirmation bias, right? Anyway, that's not really what I'm here to talk about, so yeah. But the Gaalsien are not entirely incorrect. They're just religious fanatics.
Salvaging teams, be aware. Gaalsien forces are attempting to extract artifacts from the wrecks at this location.
Op ready.
Alright, well, there are other artifacts, and Gaalsien teams are attempting to salvage them as well, so we got everything except the missile battery there.
Confirmed.
Enemy siege cruiser destroyed. Green line confirmed. Engines on.
But yes, we must stop them from getting the artifacts, and we must stop their religious fanaticism. Yes, they are fanatics, they're zealots, they're extremists, and they must be destroyed! Yep, all extremists should just be taken out and shot. All extremists deserve an extreme death of extremeness!
This is Rachel, go ahead.
The Gaalsien are positioning siege cruisers at elevated positions to stop our advance. Attacking these cruisers from below will prove difficult. Upgrade our facilities to produce tactical bombers and target the Gaalsien siege cruisers.
Ready. Send.
Okay, well, we will get bomber fabrication online, as well as gunship fabrication. So these are the other two large aircraft that we can build. So that will be nice. But of course, you know, the bombers and the gunships, because they often end up circling over their targets, you need to get rid of any anti-air threat.
Enemy armor on approach.
These hulls are perfectly intact. Not even a touch of atmospheric scarring on them.
Taking hostile fire. Go ahead. Good copy. Heading back to hangar. Copy. Green line verified.
Tactical bomber fabrication online.
Begin constructing tactical bombers.
Enemy armor disabled. Course set. Op ready.
So there's no evidence of these ships re-entering the atmosphere. Are you saying they just magically appeared on the surface, Karen? Or, not Karen, Rachel?
Alert. Hostile siege cruiser.
Karen Sajet, Rachel Sajet, you know, same kith.
Reading.
Yeah, she's speaking a lot of hogwash, a lot of poppycock.
Green line confirmed. Engines on.
Alright, well, this is a very, very wide map,
Go ahead.
at least as far as this game goes, so we're going to be ranging back and forth as we kind of move up these mountains, these steps, or whatever you want to call them. So we're going to be moving back and forth across the map to get all these resources. Because again, I want all of the resources.
Hostile armor eliminated. Be advised. Tracking hostiles. The captain.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
Attack vector dialed in. We're in the pipe. Attention.
Alright, let's
Contact.
build up
Enemy armor.
another bomber.
Bearing designated. Hostiles designated. Trackers assigned. Reading.
Lay down a smoke screen. Throw off any hostiles in the area.
And as usual, this mission does take quite some time because you just kind of have to methodically work your way up and forward and back and forth, so...
The Gaalsien are escaping with an artifact. Cut them off.
Alright, we'll do that. We'll cut them off at the pass, but yeah, I will be cutting out certain parts where there's not a whole lot of lulls in this mission because you'll almost constantly be in combat, launching airstrikes and taking things out and moving units around, but I'll try to cut parts out of the mission where it's largely just us resourcing or kind of moving around. Cut out some of the travel time, if you will.
Attention.
We can't let them have that sucker.
Alert. Siege cruiser verified in the AO.
We can't afford to lose this artifact to the Gaalsien. Recover it.
Okay, we will. Luckily, only their salvagers can pick up artifacts, so nothing else.
Bomber online. Ready for launch.
So in many ways, you have to target the salvagers as well. The Gaalsien salvagers.
Reading.
Alright, gunship fabrication is almost online.
Go ahead.
Research completed.
Let's take out that support cruiser, or that production cruiser, I mean.
Hostile armor incoming.
Ooh, it's
Our
got
bomber is
some
under
anti-air
enemy
guns
fire.
on it.
Make
Well, we
ready.
almost had it. It's got a sliver of
Fighter
health.
coordinates dialed in.
Also notice in the
Attack vector
previous
dialed in. We're in
previous
the
times
fight.
we fought carriers, we don't need to fully hit them until their health bar is completely gone. We often,
Coordinates confirmed.
you know, launch
Goal for
strikes
armor.
at them
New
until
heading
their
set.
health, there's like
Green
a
line
little
hostile
tiny bit of,
detected.
of
Visual
health left.
unconfirmed.
And then, you know, cue cutscene, so... Because they need to make a final theatrical statement
report.
about
Hostile
how we are
siege
going
cruiser
against the
eliminated.
will of Sejuk, and yeah, ultimately all our efforts will be in vain.
Tracking hostile. Hostile strike craft down. Enemy armor disabled. Ready. Send.
Armor ready. Green line
All right,
confirmed.
let's pull everyone back here, and
Ready for command.
yeah, we need to get all those boys over there.
Copies.
Start sucking up the resources.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
First, let's
Attack
clear out
course
all
set.
the enemies
Bomber to
around there
launch
first,
deck.
though.
Bomber on deck.
Why don't we send Group 1 and the Honor Guard cruiser over there as well,
Order confirmed. Op ready.
just for some extra security.
Armored vehicle is taking fire. Hostile railgun ready. Opened up.
Op ready.
Hostile armor eliminated. Enemy railgun eliminated. A railgun is taking effective fire. Contact. Enemy armor. Bearing designated. Light attack vehicle is under fire.
Receiving.
All right, bomber,
Enemy salvager
don't
destroyed.
bother bombing that, or maybe whatever.
New heading set.
What is over
Hostile
there?
on set confirmed. Authentication pending.
Copy. Returning to carrier.
Proximity warning in effect. Hostiles designated.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
Green line
All
confirmed.
right, I will eventually
Engine
build some gunships, because they are sort of kind of useful.
off. Go ahead. Rachel is taking fire. Respond. Enemy armor disabled.
Receiving.
Op ready. Course set. Op ready. On our way.
Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed.
All right, we got armored logistics
Hostile
efficiency.
Rangecraft destroyed.
Go for armor. Coordinates confirmed. Strike copies.
What is that? Oh, it's a assault
Armor
ship.
locked in. Strike craft taking effective fire. Tracking armored craft on approach. Armor vehicle taking effective fire.
Green line confirmed. Op ready. Armor, go ahead. Armor is en route.
Attention. Kapisi moving out.
All right, let's move the Kapisi up.
Reporting.
You guys can get
Advanced
harvesting.
Receiving. Coordinates confirmed.
Reading.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
Attack
Note
vector
that there's
dialed in.
an
Where's the
area
fighter?
right at the top of the map with a bunch of, like, dots
ahead.
in it. We will not be dealing with that area, so don't really worry
Got
about it too
hostile on
much.
sensors. Confirm visual.
Just pretty much focus on what's right in front of you, right? There's roving patrols around the area and
Hostile
stuff.
armor
And
eliminated.
again, you see a siege cruiser up there.
Op ready.
So again, I mean, launch airstrikes, try to disrupt the harvesting operations from the Gaalsien.
Contact. Enemy armor.
I could spend a lifetime studying these ships. Just imagine the secrets they hold.
Kapisi copies. Enemy armor disabled.
Gunship is now in circulation. Gunship clear for launch.
Gunship online, ready for launch.
Enemy railgun
Bomber
firing on
launch deck.
friendlies.
Copy that. Bomber on deck.
CU site exhausted. Ready.
Shooting
Go
at
ahead.
Mr. Honor Guard cruiser. We do kind of want to keep him alive. I mean,
Enemy
it's
railgun
not essential, but
eliminated.
he is useful.
Railgun targeted.
Go ahead.
But we got all our bombers
Bomber
manufactured, and here's a gunship. You see it circles around in like a pylon turn and fires on ground units. It doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage
An
though,
RU
and
site
that's
has been
why
depleted.
I don't find it to be the most useful. Also, if any enemy anti-air asset is in the area, they'll promptly blast it out of the sky.
Operations
Because
update.
it just
RU
circles around
has
overhead,
been
literally,
drained.
and just at the whim of anything that can shoot missiles, so... Yeah, I mean, gunships are cool, but for one thing, you only have 2 of them. They are expensive, and they're not... I just don't find them to be terribly
Hostile armor eliminated.
Fighter coordinates
useful in terms of their firepower that they bring.
Attack course set.
Although they will just mangle any small unit like sand skimmers or whatever. But against anything really larger, they're not terribly effective.
We've got hostile on sensors. Confirm visual.
They just kind of
Hostile
nibble
armor
away
incoming.
at the health of
Go
the
ahead.
enemy.
Enemy salvager neutralized.
So anyway, strike fighters and bombers are still probably the
Hostile
most
on sensors.
useful of
Authentication
aircraft
pending. Enemy armor
in our
on approach.
arsenal.
Kapisi copies.
Strike fighter approach vector
Alright, let's
dialed
take out
in.
the siege cruiser here.
Attack vector dialed in. Hostile craft in AO. Maneuver for visual confirmation.
Cruiser ready. Displace to that CU field.
Alright, there goes that siege cruiser.
Enemy salvager destroyed. Reading.
Strike fighter approach vector
Confirmed.
dialed in.
Enemy siege cruiser destroyed. Confirmed. Engines hot.
Bomber copies.
Alright, let's start taking care of these fellas. Or continue working on them, I should say.
Enemy light attack
Drop
vehicle
your
marked on
bombs,
approach.
please. Shoot them. It's like the gunship is more just there for effect. I mean, it's not an AC-130, you know what I mean? With like miniguns and howitzers and 40 millimeters and all that.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
It just circles overhead and fires a minigun or something.
Hostile armor.
I wish it was a
eliminated.
little bit more useful, to be honest.
Alert. Support taking hostile fire. Hostile railguns have opened up.
Move confirmed.
The Gaalsien have extracted an artifact. The Gaalsien have extracted an artifact. I'm picking up unusually high energy readings at that location. Looks like the Gaalsien found the power source before we did.
All combat units, redirect to take out that Gaalsien salvage team and secure the power source. Failure is not an option.
Bearing designated.
The power source has been picked up by a Gaalsien salvage crew. Cut them off. Excellent work. Acquire that power source and return it to the Kapisi immediately. All other objectives are secondary.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we jumped the gun a bit there, huh? Gaalsien acquired a power source. Well, no, they haven't. Oh,
Disabled.
good
Armored
job.
vehicle
Yep.
is taking fire.
Bring it back.
We got a railgun under fire.
I like Rachel's little snark there. It's like, looks like they got to it before we did. Maybe you should have been a little faster. I'm just saying.
Make ready.
I'm not judging you, but I totally
Strike fighter
am.
approach
You know,
vector dialed
if
in.
I was in command of this fleet, I would have gotten it so much
Online.
faster.
Ready to burn.
It's a gosh, Rachel.
Ready. Send. Hostile detected. Visual unconfirmed.
Strike fighter approach vector.
The Gaalsien cannot be allowed to escape with that artifact.
And they will not. There's nothing literally
Tracking armored craft on approach.
getting it right now, so.
Op ready.
Now, occasionally there is a siege cruiser on this kind of topmost level, so you gotta be careful. You see we're sending these salvagers to that group of resources right there.
The power source has been picked up by a Gaalsien salvage crew. Cut them off.
Oh, I guess they have.
Attention.
All right, well, we'll do that. But anyway,
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
yeah, like I was saying, sometimes there's a
confirmed.
siege cruiser up top, and
New heading
those resource pockets, one of which we're working on right now, they can sometimes come under attack by a siege cruiser up above them, because it can lob artillery down onto them. So hence why you do need to take out those siege cruisers.
Excellent work. Acquire that power source and return it to the Kapisi immediately.
Use exhaust.
All other objectives are secondary.
Yes,
Vector
we've had that
dialed
spiel before.
Strike
Oh, they
systems
got another
online.
one. Okay.
Ready to burn.
CU field expended. Gunship go. Proceed to marked target.
Gunship on deck. Ready to launch.
Artifact detected.
Well, the thing is, all the
Minority
salvagers
site
are working on
completed.
the salvage sites, so we can only really send Rachel. But I don't want to send her out there without adequate support. We want to make sure that she's supported. We're here to provide support for her, okay? Well, after this, we got one more artifact to recover. It's going to be a while, though, because I want to get all these resources first.
Go ahead. Get us underway.
Power source has been returned.
Great work. That extra power will give us a tactical advantage.
I can't wait to take a closer look at this artifact. I can only imagine the potential applications for this technology.
Rachel, we're picking up significant sensor contacts inbound at high speed. Prepare for Gaalsien counterattack.
Oh boy, counterattacks, my favorite.
We've got enemy contact. Missile launch detected. The Gaalsien carrier Renza is moving towards our position. Prepare to engage.
Alright, so the carrier Renza is up there. She just magically appeared up there. Notice that in the cutscene she fired a whole barrage of missiles. Some of the Gaalsien carriers do have an ability to use a missile barrage, but that has no bearing on us anyway. Although the Renza there does have significant anti-air capability in terms of missiles, so that will present a problem.
We can't afford to lose this artifact to the Gaalsien.
Yes, okay, just hold your horses. I'm blowing them up as we speak.
Enemy armor disabled. Alert, hostile siege cruiser sighted. Strike craft destroyed. Go ahead.
We can't afford to lose this artifact to the Gaalsien. Recover it.
Alright, so the Renza is just going to stay up there on the topmost area and just kind of go back and forth and back and forth.
CU deposit
She will not come down to directly engage you, so don't worry.
Strike fighter coordinates.
I will say it does commit something of a, I don't know, a tactical blunder, if you will. Like, why didn't it stay up there at the very, very top, surrounded by all those turrets, those heavy turrets up there?
CU field
I don't know, maybe it wanted to remain more mobile, more room to move around, but yeah, if it had stayed up there, it would be well protected by AA guns and heavy turrets, and so we would have been forced to essentially do a ground assault up into the high ground instead of, you know.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
And, you know, it's bottlenecked. There's only one way up there. So it could have been well protected. We would have had to go up this little bottleneck, and it could have just slaughtered us as we'd come up, as we sent our ground units up there. But nope, they had to mosey on down and come down here and just do its thing, right?
Go ahead.
Oh, we got another siege cruiser here. We'll deal with that in a jiffy.
Go for orders.
Now we got the two stealth
Enemy armor disabled.
strike fighters in that group.
Make ready. We've got hostile.
They're so stealthy they have a cloaking device.
Our bomber is taking fire.
He just fires its little guns up into the air. Real pissy little things, not very effective anti-air guns.
Attention.
Salvager online.
Ready for command. Going mobile. Move order confirmed.
Alright, so we're going to move everyone, including the Kapisi, back down and to the other side of the map. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of back and forth in this map. So we're going to move on to that resource pocket on the other side of the map and get those. And then we'll engage the Renza.
Armor is en route.
Go for ranged. Eyes on the horizon. Move.
Engage.
Alright, we don't want that salvager going after that artifact.
Enemy salvager destroyed.
We shan't have that, shall we?
Ship go. Proceed to marked target.
Copy that. Gunship on deck.
Support ready.
Railgun locked in.
There we go. Blast them.
Strike fighter coordinates. CU field expended.
Attack course set.
Attention. Gaalsien strike fighters detected.
Man, you think the gunship would just honestly do more damage, right? It's shooting down onto its target, so you think it would be hitting where, like, the armor is probably thinner.
Proximity warning in effect. Hostiles designated. Make ready.
Runner.
Kind of makes you wonder, did they envision the gunship to be like an AC-130 or an A-10 or something, you know? If they did, it needs a bigger gun. It needs a bigger Gatling gun. It needs a Gal 8.
Op ready. Roger, coming back. Tracking armored craft on approach. Hostile detected. Visual unconfirmed. Alert. Hostile strike fighter.
Alright, the Renza there does have
Hostile
anti-air
designated.
missiles
Mark bearing.
of her own, as well as a couple of missile batteries following her
Strike
around,
systems
so
online. Ready to burn.
strike fighters are really the best option for taking her
Operate.
out. You just have to continuously send them at her. And no, she cannot pick up that
Hostile light
artifact, so
attack
don't worry.
vehicle Visually authenticated.
Get it, get it. No,
Lock
that
on
one.
target.
Yes, kind of, sort of.
Strike fighter taking fire. Enemy armor disabled.
Strike fighter approach vector.
Alright, jumping
dialed in.
ahead.
Attack vector
I didn't
dialed
want
in. Where's the
Rachel to
fighter?
run into the Renza there, so I pulled her back, and
CU
now she
site
can go for
exhausted.
it.
CU field depleted. CU's exhausted. Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed.
Alright, we're about done with that resource pocket there. I suppose if you're really suicidal, you can send in your ground units as well to attack the Renza and all her forces. But honestly, air power is just... it's just the easy way to do it, essentially.
Unidentified contact.
Although we got a bomber
Designated
going in
hostile.
here, and I'm
Enemy
about to
airstrike
regret this
inbound.
decision. Like most of the things in my
have a
life. I thought,
Make
we
ready.
don't have much that can shoot it down. It should be alright.
We've detected something.
But
Can you
watch.
confirm visual? Hostile armor
shooting
incoming.
missiles
Our
at
bomber
it.
is under enemy fire.
And bummer. That was the one bomber we got from the Sakala and our most experienced bomber. So now we gotta build another
Systems
one.
Online, ready to burn.
We only have to build 3 more strike fighters, so then our air
course,
complement will be complete.
Attention.
Soon the rebellion will be crushed, and young Skywalker will be one of us.
We're ready for orders. Mobilizing.
Reading.
Alright, we got some
Go ahead.
fancy stuff now with
Bomber
the
ready for
artifacts and all
sortie.
that. Let's just finish off the Renza here. Launch a whole bunch of strike fighters and keep launching them,
The
and
Renza is shunting power to armor and is on the move. Gaalsien repair crew en route to the Renza. Eliminate them.
don't worry about that. Just keep hitting her with
Strike
strike
fighter coordinates
fighters.
dialed in.
I mean, there's a
Vector
production
dialed in.
cruiser
We're
that
in
will
the
come
fight.
into the
Reporting.
area, but as far as I can tell, it
Going
doesn't
mobile.
have much of an
Attention,
effect
Gaalsien strike
on the
fighters
Renza's health.
detected.
And it says like, oh, it's shunting power to armor, it's shunting power to weapons or whatever.
We're picking up elevated energy signatures. The Gaalsien carrier Renza is shunting all power to weapons.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
Strike systems online.
That doesn't
Ready
seem to make a
burn.
huge difference about how it's utilizing its power. Just
Go ahead.
keep hitting it with
Hostile
from
armor
afar
incoming.
with
Enemy
strike
airstrike
fighters.
inbound.
That's
Approach
why they're
vector
there.
dialed in.
Green light confirmed. Engines hot.
Again, because we're better at carrier warfare than they are. Don't worry, I've studied the Imperial Japanese Navy in World War II. I know all about it.
Hostile craft in AO. Maneuver
And a
for
bit about the
visual
U.S. Fast
confirmation.
Carrier Task Forces. We're like Task Force
Attention.
58.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed
I'm Admiral
in.
Halsey
Attack
/
course
Admiral Spruance. I'm just like them.
set. Go ahead. Hostile production cruiser verified. Take it out.
Okay, looks like one more should do the trick.
This is the captain.
Again, we only really need to get it down to just a small bit of health. And then they'll just blow
Strike
up
fighter
magically.
approach vector dialed in.
Attack vector dialed in. We're in
And
the
give these
fight.
religious fanatics a,
Hostile
a
detected.
passport to
Visual
heaven or
unconfirmed.
wherever.
Hostile light attack vehicle detected.
Personal log, Science Officer Rachel Sajet, Expedition Carrier Kapisi. It took 3 years to prepare this expedition. We set out, launching into the unknown, unsure of what we would find. The discoveries we have made have exceeded all our expectations. I have noticed the kith names identified aboard these starships, the insignias. None of them are known to us. Where did these starships come from? Who are these Voyagers? Hopefully, my analysis will yield some much-needed answers.
Alright, Gaalsien carrier Renza down. We have located several additional anomalies which have provided resources. Equatorial heat levels spiking. Water and fuel rationing engaged. Alright, well, see you for the next one.